Hello, let me just turn that up. There we go. Hi, I'm Wendy. Welcome to the Stripology podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being back. And if you've never heard this before, welcome. So this is a podcast where I talk about a whole range of different topics, generally relating to stripping, mindset, confidence, courage, all of the things. So anyway, this particular topic is something that I've experienced a lot in my life. And I know that a lot of people, especially, well, people in general, I would say, but it comes up a lot in our industry. And that is the question, that looming question around what am I going to do after stripping? It can get pretty intense. It might hit you at any point in stripping. It might be like waves. It's like, yeah, that's a later question, or it might be like really real for you now, whatever it is. It does come up a lot. And I just want to also say, yeah, it comes up a lot for everybody because life is a journey. And I shared recently on my Instagram a statistic that's quite interesting. Talking about when people ask, oh, what's your 5-year plan or what's your exit strategy and all those annoying questions. And, just really, showing that, this day and age, averaging around 5 different careers in one's life, that number's rising in future generations. So just knowing that it's completely normal to go through that kind of, feeling or that wonder or that uncertainty and the fear that it can bring up. So I just want to put out there an interesting question that I've had going through my head lately. And so I really want to share it. And that question is, if someone gave you a pill that let you see your entire life and how it's going to play out, all of the decisions that you make, all of the big events in your life, when they're going to happen, exactly how it's going to happen, and that uncertainty is now certainty. You've seen it, you know what's going to happen. Would you take that pill? Would you want to know exactly how your life is going to play out? Because when I ask myself that question, I think absolutely fucking not, right? And so it can help then come back into the present moment and go, okay, life has uncertainty. And it's really freeing to make peace with uncertainty. Because I've experienced it personally as like a major fear in my life. Huge amount of anxiety. Anxiety is obviously future projecting. And the relief that can be brought out when we just embrace uncertainty and realize that it is a mystery and that is exciting. So we have some level of, control over our lives, the decisions that we make, all of the things. And something that I really want to, hone in on in this episode is the fact that there's a level of uncertainty and then there's a level of control that we can have. Obviously, surrendering to outcome is important. And it's not necessarily the goal or what we, want to create. It's also about the journey of who you become when you get there. And so it is like an unraveling, right? And so in saying that, with what we can control, there's certain things that obviously we would like to create that have meaning to us, that we would like to see, materialize or unfold. And I found, again, personally, my experience in the stripping career, it felt so much like an acceleration button with finances, with time freedom. And so maybe those questions come up more quickly for us in this industry because, you know, there is quick, not easy, but fast cash. And there's a lot of opportunities that can unfold as well through this industry. And so these questions tend to come up a lot more quickly. Because I know, for example, when I was a scientist and, funds were less in my life and things like that, it didn't feel as accelerated. It was more like week to week, not really being able to think about big future plans, right? And so stripping really is a massive opportunity to be able to, as much as we can, map out things in our life that we want to create. And so as I've been sort of revealing lately, and I'm going to be dropping it this week, I'm hosting a workshop around these big questions, around what are the big scary goals that you want to work towards, because our level of clarity helps us to direct our energy towards creating those goals. And it can also help with, those levels of uncertainty and making peace with uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen, but bringing it back to more the play and excitement that we get to experience when we completely hone in and focus on what it is that we want to create. Clarity and expansiveness together with, big, clear goals in place really unleashes a huge amount of energy within us. And so this workshop is all around that. It's all around releasing that, like creating that clarity around what it is you want to create. And that's individual for everyone. It's not about grind yourself to the bone and, whatever. It's really about what is uniquely your experience and figuring out what is the thing that feels big and scary, but also feels attainable, and getting to the point where you really unleash that energy from within when you can see it in front of you, when you can map it out, and work towards something that you want to create. It is so much more powerful than just having, I guess, lukewarm goals or goals in your safe, comfort zone, working yourself really hard, but not knowing what it's for. And yeah, really getting that clear picture. It helps to, dissolve that fear of uncertainty and start really playing with it. And it's a complete shift of energy. I've been working really closely with a lot of my clients, and particularly in the Industry Academy, looking at what their goals are and looking at, okay, let's dig deeper. Let's get it even more specific, even more specific. And suddenly things shift and we come into a place of excitement. And yeah, that's what this workshop is all about. It's going to be really low ticket cost, and it's going to be interactive. So it's going to be fun and really looking at the elements that help us to back ourselves when setting big, scary goals, and different strategies that we can use to help us to create what we want to create. So there's no need to have fear around, like, what does my future hold? Of course, we don't know certain things, and I think there's a massive beauty in that, but also having the clarity to work towards what we are in control of. So stay tuned. I really look forward to hosting this workshop. It's going to be really, really fun. And I look forward to seeing you there. So start, like I've been saying in the most recent podcast, having a think about what that looks like for you. And if you're not quite sure, even more reason to come along and start thinking about those big questions. I hope you have a beautiful week, and yeah, I'll see you next week.